How does the beast kill and eat the lambs?
Well, in a most peculiar way. The killing seems to be done by the beast breaking the neck of the lamb or the sheep, and its eating habits is something that we've never seen in this part before. For instance, if a dog or fox feeds from a carcass, it seems to eat behind the shoulder and from the rump, but this creature seems, after it's killed the lamb, to feed from the jaw to the shoulder. And most peculiar of all is the fact that it tends to eat the wool and the flesh. If a dog or fox feeds from a carcass, it usually tears the wool and throws it back and then feeds underneath, but this is the most peculiar thing that we've seen.
The legend of the beasts of Bodmin Moor is a wild animal seen across the mountains of Cornwall. Its origins have always remained relatively unknown, but a plausible theory is that a pack of pumas escaped from Dartmoor Zoo during the 1980s. But ever since the cold winter of 2010, sightings of these beasts have been very scarce, suggesting that they may have died out during that period.
There's been a lot of stories over the years, I've heard of it, a lot. Is it real? Is it a black pony? You know, people seeing the back of it. I mean, they say that sheep turned up dead and badly mutilated and things, so something was probably going on. Some would say it was dogs, but in the, I think, 1970s, the government passed a law that it was illegal to keep wild cats in private ownership. And unbelievably, prior to that, you could keep a wild cat, a big one, a lion, a tiger. And they were sold, I think, in the early part of the 20th century in places like Harrods, I believe. Certainly some of those big London stores. I don't think they had them in stock, but you could buy one from there, you know, and people did have them. At that time when that law was changed, it is rumoured that people let them go, and that's probably true. I mean, what else did they do? They wouldn't have killed them, would they? They probably did let them go and let them fend for themselves, and a few of them have survived. And if you look around you now, in the middle of Bodmin Moor, if they didn't want to be seen, and they're cats, they're pretty intelligent, they wouldn't be seen. There's so many places for them to hide. So plausible, yeah, I think it probably is. And the stories are Bodmin Moor, I think they call that the Beast of Bodmin. There's the Exmoor Beast. There's even a beer named after that one, pretty strong one too. And there's the Beast of Dartmoor, Dartmoor Beast, same story wherever you go. It's black, it's a big cat, and it kills sheep and frightens people. I just saw the back of a pony when I was coming up here that was sort of behind a little bit of a rise in the land, maybe in between some rocks, caught my eye, and I looked at it, and just the shape of it with the hindquarters up in the air and the shoulders high, you could easily mistake that for a cat. And in the days before mobile phones and people wandering the hills with binoculars, yeah, you could have thought that was a cat.
Because very few tangible images of the beast exist, it has been the subject of vast interpretation amongst the general public. But the shared belief amongst those who have seen it is the abnormally long tail it bears. But sightings of pumas aren't just confined to the southwest, as there are multiple claims of similar animals spread across the country. Archie Barnes, a student at Exeter University, has claimed to have seen one near his home area of Surrey.
I was out walking with a pair of binoculars with my father, and walked through a field and sort of had a look right at the corner, and it's sort of this dark black thing, not really moving. Sort of thought, oh, it's like a bullock or something. Just sort of kept an eye on it, carried on walking down the corner of the field, and it's about 200 yards away, the far corner, and then glassed the thing again. And as we're looking, it sort of bounds across 30 yards, 40 yards in sort of effortless bounds, like big leaps, just with a big swooping black long tail there. So sort of scaredly walked back to the car, watching our backs, and then had a quick Google, and the search brought up all sorts of pictures in West Sussex of this big black cat.
Credibility has been one of our big obstacles, and I think that people in the district and people who've seen the carcasses now are in no doubt that we've got a most unusual situation and something which is extremely worrying.
Are the chances of catching the beast receding as time goes on?
Very much indeed, yes, because within about 2 weeks the leaf will be out, and of course the cover for any wild creature in the woods and in the hedgerows will increase with the leaf coming out.
So you think it's real then?
Don't know, but my inclination is they probably have existed. I don't know where all those stories would have come from otherwise, and the dead sheep, you know, if you research that, you'll find half a flock of sheep, 40, 50 sheep have been killed overnight. Maybe wild dogs, maybe not, maybe hungry cats.
I think there's, the chance of them being real, there's nothing that's going to kill them. And they live to quite old ages. And where I saw them, there was hares, deer, rabbits, everything. There's plenty of food source as well as pheasants. So, very easily survive.
That's very true.
If I wanted to add as well, I'd almost argue I don't think the beast of Bodmin is alive anymore. I think there've been so many search parties that have come back totally negative, but I do believe there are big cats in the UK.